Hello and welcome to Bell Peppers and Beef, a Cowboy Bebop podcast. This week we're talking about Session 14, Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm Paul.
David.
And Justin.
Alright, what happened in this episode, Dave?
Well, the basic gist. Bebop gets themselves a new bounty, but it's proving to be a bit more difficult, where they need to defeat the chess master.
Well, they don't know if it's the chess master right away, but apparently their only clue was like a chess piece after each of these guys or whatever.
Nah, exactly. I was just going to bring up 3 sets of bounties. Absolutely amazing for the start of the episode. Cowboy Bebop's getting along decently. Didn't get a single reward for any of them.
Yeah, because it wasn't a right bounty.
Which literally does not make any sense.
For whatever reason.
Like, that does not make any sense. Well, you caught all these criminals, but we're not going to give you any money for it.
Well, screw you guys.
It makes, no sense.
Of course, this bounty was handed out by some sort of shady business that specifically worked with the transport gates within the universe.
Yeah. Okay. So, one of the first things we see is Spike walking down the street, and he's got these glasses on.
Nah.
That's normal.
These glasses are not normal.
Well, they're special bounty type glasses to categorize certain things.
But they look stupid. And he looks like an idiot wearing them.
Even more stupid than those other particular outfits that Spike and any other of the Bebop have worn?
Well, Spike is normally dressed reasonably well.
Even in the poncho in the first episode.
That was a disguise. I can get past that. Now, some of the other characters in the show, like the chick in Big Shot, I still have problems with because the physics for that still boggle the mind.
It's glued to her nipples.
That just seems really uncomfortable.
Imagine
taking that off. Oh, shit.
Well,
but nevertheless, despite catching the guys, there's not really much connecting it, all except for pawn piece or chess pieces.
Yeah.
That matches kings, yes.
Yeah, so Ed ends up playing chess with this guy.
More specifically, Ed figures out what the chess pieces supposedly mean, with the rest of the Bebop trying to figure out the plan on their own.
So, okay.
And Edward doesn't really relay anything.
Yeah, but why is everybody but Edward in the scene stupid? I
wouldn't so much say stupid.
I don't like any time Edward is the smartest person in the room. That is an indictment of the rest of the people in that room. Although we know my feelings on Edward.
Supposedly.
Well documented.
I don't know if it's a thing, but just having that one particular person that just sort of brings a simple sort of answer or common sense into certain sort of things. Again, I can't remember the specific thought process on that.
I don't know when this happened in the episode, but I remember Edward shocks herself and then kind of just lies on her on the floor.
Oh no, the mild death scene of
And then
Ed.
Faye just kind of goes over and is like, are you dead?
And I was hoping the answer was yes.
But no, as Ed is like to do, she just springs back into action.
Yeah, then...
And I was eternally unhappy.
No, she's like a cockroach, you can't kill her.
But it does bring up the supposed big shot of the whole plan known as Chessmaster Hex.
Yeah, who's like a super old dude. He's like 98 or something.
Yeah, a decent amount around that age.
Looks like he belongs in an actual Chessmaster video game or something.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of true. Okay, so he has a line that says whoever he's playing chess against Ed, but it's over a distance, right?
Over the net.
And he has a line that says, I'm either playing with an idiot or a genius. And I'm like, I think it's pretty clear.
I think so too.
And it's not a genius.
Oh, how little you, good sir, know.
Edward is an idiot.
Do you not remember the fact that Ed took the supposed intelligence from a security satellite and transferred it into her own computer?
Oh.
She has her own intelligence, but
it can be
she also
easily
lost the game.
Nah, supposedly true. Thanks for spoiling.
I know.
It really doesn't matter. Anyway, I can't stand Edward, but let's move past that.
But also, aside from introducing the villain, we've got a guy on some sort of revenge kick, which is just the thing we need for a story like this.
Yeah, that one guy.
Yeah.
That one guy. What the fuck was his name?
Didn't bother to
remember.
catch his name.
Yeah, okay, I didn't either.
I just know he had like a tan skin or something and blonde hair, I think.
But anywho, with Ed playing the chess master, they decide to follow the link and see where the heck he is. And they travel off to the specific location that's just essentially a giant scrapyard of old ships, but where everyone can sort of just go there to bum and live out their lives without having to worry about government or
Yeah,
any
it's a
sort of
place
particular
of like drunk flying hobos.
Yeah,
In
or
space.
or the smoking hippies, or
Yeah.
the random dogs and cats running at zero gravity.
Yeah.
Also,
This is
the
great.
ridiculous amount of birds.
And apparently the 3 old men are here too, for whatever reason.
I know. The trio's back and they're friends with Hex, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, basically after finding out this old man, this chess master is old and senile, they didn't really do anything about it, and
A little bit, but on the story of Master Hex, he was supposedly a great programmer and actually worked with the company for creating these space gates, but where he was wanting to be somewhat secure and sensible to make sure that the system was alright, the business was kind of like, yeah, no, you fired, get out, and went ahead with building the gates anyway, thus creating a tremendous plan to bring out the supposed flaw within the gates to steal money from peoples.
Okay, so I don't get this.
Well, it was kind of a case of he did it when he was very mad, and then the fact that he made it so that it would happen in 50 years, and then the fact that he decided to go senile.
Well, I don't think he decided to go senile. I think that just kind of happened.
Yeah,
generally
true.
a person's decision.
No,
goes
but
senile.
here's what I don't understand. So
Yeah.
he was worried about some defect in the gate.
Nah.
Now, is that solely that you could exploit it to pull people's, like, woolongs out of their account when they pay?
Most likely it was probably more of a concern of making sure that the gates didn't explode.
Okay, but is that an actual issue that's come up? Because I don't remember that.
I think there was that one whole episode with the kid that couldn't die that kind of explains that.
I don't remember that.
Well, that was like in first 9 episodes.
Yeah.
The one with the harmonica.
Yeah, I know that. I don't remember anything about the gates, though.
He was there during the gate explosion, and that's supposedly why he was immortal.
Yeah, but, okay, so a few gates exploded. We're not, like... This... I think it's a stupid plan, I think, is my point. It doesn't really make any sense.
Well, he was fired from his supposed job from that. He most likely had some rage to burn off in some way.
Okay, well, terrorism isn't usually the best way to deal with your anger issues, but okay.
That's
Yeah,
a great
true.
idea. What are you talking about? And that guy that was out for revenge, he ends up joining everybody there after, like, losing it and just...
Yeah, turns out that the guy for revenge was there because he had his pretty much all of his life savings stolen. So
Yeah.
he did the traditional thing, went nuts and blew a couple of things up, and when he had his sense knocked in, he calmed down a bit and just joined up with all the other hobos and
He
whatnot.
was probably getting some, like, weed or something just to chill himself out.
Yeah,
Alright, is that basically the entire plot, David?
I think so. The one last question that I kind of have is near the end with Hex. The question of if he felt content and passed on, or just the case of he fell asleep.
I would
With
say
how
he
it was
passed
sort of-
on.
With how everything was sort of summarized, I think it's kind of the fact that he died. But he
Yeah.
died having a decent game with someone.
Yeah, I assumed he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Guess
think
he
that's
died.
kind of the only reading you can really take from it, but...
And at the same time, simultaneously, Edward dies.
Well,
really.
fell in the game.
Yeah, after, like, playing that game for, like, supposedly over
week.
24 hours. A week. Okay, yeah, it was like a week.
Yeah, about that. But then, of course, with certain games nowadays, that's not too surprising.
But the same chess game, though.
Yeah.
Alright, so, David, what do you think of this episode?
Honestly, on the whole, there isn't anything really that bad about it. But with most other episodes, it kind of felt a little bit weaker for all the particular stuff that it did. But on the whole, and I think it's a good sort of episode to sort of watch. Nothing story building or whatnot, but not the worst thing.
Okay, Justin?
That's my opinion. Sorry.
That's not really an opinion. They're random sounds you made.
Yes, they were random sounds.
You think it's good, bad? Are you indifferent? Like,
I'm very indifferent about this episode, honestly.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so like you guys both said, it's not bad, it's just boring. Like, there's nothing that really happens. Nothing moves the plot forward. We don't really get any character stuff. There's just not a lot that happens in it. I didn't particularly like it. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Rightio.
Any last minute thoughts, David or Justin?
It had flying dogs and cats, and flying hobos in space.
At
At least it had that.
I guess my particular question to the both of you is, would you guys be up for a game of chess? But
It's not going
with
to take a week.
Oh, don't worry. It's just we might need a couple of additional tools. For anyone who does actually get this, bonus cookie to you.
What is that even supposed to mean?
No,
I don't know. Don't humor him. Alright, so that's going to be it for this week. I'm Paul.
David.
Me.
Thank you, Justin. You're an asshole.